Hello, my name is Kat. Welcome to my channel. Today we have a reading wrap-up. Hello, how are you doing today? I hope you're having a wonderful day. So today's video is about the books that I've been reading in the month of January and February. There are not too many. I have 2 audios and 5 physicals. So let's start with the month of January. And the month of January, I get The Killers of the Flower Moon is my audio for January, and it's about the martyrs of the Osage Indian Nation in Oklahoma in the 1920s. It's divided in 3 sections, and at the beginning of the book, you talk about these people, how they became rich, how they find the black gold, and in the second part, you find like what happened to them, how the white people was trying to get their money. And in the third part of the book, you kind of have a resolution where the FBI is involved, and they resolve the crimes, that what was happening and who was murdering these people in this nation in Oklahoma. It's a great non-fiction. They have actually they have a movie with Leonardo DiCaprio. The movie kind of focuses in just one area of what happened in that time. I think the book give you a better overview. What happened is well narrated and is well written, and it give you a lot of information, and it's a little shocking what happened to these people and how horrible human being is trying to get advantage for things and for just like money situation there. So I recommend that. I really like it. The narration was really good. And let's move on to the next one that I have is The Fellowship of the Ring. This one, it was my third time reading this one. The first time I read it in Spanish, the second time I read it I listened it in audio, and then this is the third time I'm reading it in English. I actually underlined some sections. This is my copy that I can actually underline, because my beautiful copies I will not write on them, but I have some annotations on this one. I was planning to do a special video for this one. I'm not sure if I will do it, because I want to give Justice a good review about this one, and deserves a little more work. But I like it. I like it the first time. I like it the second time. I like the third time. So the next one I have is Starling House. This one was my pick for October for the book of the month, and I ended up reading it at the beginning of this year. It's about this girl that she's trying to move out from her town, especially because she thinks she will find a better life outside this town for her brother. And she has set a job in this Starling House, and this house nobody like it. They have a lot of mystery going on in that house. It's kind of scary house. They hear some people dying in that house and that kind of thing. I was expecting a little more scary book, but actually it's not. It's really atmospheric. I think it's the target audience is like a new adult, that like they call it now. I did like the mystery. I like the atmospheric situation there. I was invested until maybe 70% of the book, and then I kind of start getting bored, because it was a little, okay, come on, what's gonna happen? Overall, I have a good time reading this one. It's not that memorable after like a month or something. I mean, it's fine, but it's not that memorable. I did like it. I did have a good time reading it, but nothing wrong about this one. I will say this one. The next one is Traitor. So this one I get it in a subscription box long time ago. You choose a genre and they send you some books in that genre, and they send me 2 books. I didn't like too much the subscription. I canceled after 1 box, and I still have the books unread. So this one is about a spy that is infiltrated in a government, and is a double spy. And after many years, something happened, and they need to discover a secret spy, a secret case, or like they have a plan, and it's important undercover plan, and some agencies they're trying to discover who is the main spy in this plan, and they have to go back in history, find the older spies who were related to the main spy, that kind of thing. To be honest, I didn't like it. I didn't understand the point of the story. I think maybe it's because it's a little like old. It's not like it didn't age well when this was published. It was 2015 published, and the author says that is using a pseudonym, and he's a high member of the Israeli intelligence community, and his books must pass a process that the government can approve it to be published, something like that. I didn't like it. I don't know if it's, I mean, if you like spies books, maybe you will like this one. It was not my favorite, and that made me hesitate because I have so many books of licorice that they are about the spies. Hopefully, they don't gonna have the same vibe of this one. But yeah, it was not my favorite of all the ones that I read. I didn't like this one. I was about to DNF, and I found the audio by my library, so I read 70% physical and 30% of the rest of the book. I finished it in audio because I was like ready to give up on it. Next one, we have the audio that I have for my month of February. Kitchen Confidentials is Anthony Bourdain. So this one, it was a funny memoir. He is very straightforward. You're gonna have a lot of cursing words there, and it's about his experience in the kitchen, how he became the chef, how he became, how he get the name. But we don't really get to the point when he start like becoming like more famous. It's more the beginning of his career. And if you work in a food industry, you may be related to some of the things that he says that. But overall, I think it's a funny memoir because he talk about all the craziness stuff that happen in the kitchen, in the restaurants, in the expensive restaurants, in the cheapest restaurants, and how he grew up, and his he talks very normal about his addiction problems too. So I think it's a really good memoir. It has his style, like classic of him. And if you are like into the food industry, I think you will find it more interesting in general. I think everybody can like it, but the people who is working in the food industry will like it more because they can probably see some things that they are more like related to them. So I did like this audio. The next one I have is Wuthering Heights. This one was the pick of my book club for the month of January and February. It's hard to describe this book. It's about this family that has. Okay, so technically, it's a guy who is going to live in this Wuthering Heights, and over there he find a family that it was a little strange, and he find out the story about them and what happened to this family, and is the relationship between this family to another family. I don't know how to describe it. Technically, we have Catherine here and Hillship that they are in love, and because of them, a lot of events start happening. It's, I don't know, to be honest, how to describe it without giving away too much of it. It is very atmospheric. I don't think it's a romance. I don't think it's a gothic novel either. It has elements of both of them, but it's not pure romance or pure gothic novel. The characters are horrible, like a people, but the author, I think it gives a really good description of them. Like she managed the character really well because you hate them, most of them. I don't think any of the characters is good or redeemable. Like you cannot justify any of their actions, I think so. And some people will try to justify their actions, but I don't think they have a just like no justification on any of them. So think I that's all I can say. I don't know how to describe it, to be honest. I did like it a lot. Take me a little time to get into in the book. Maybe 20% of the book I was like, okay, and then after that, like I followed the story and I did like it. Recommended, yes. It's completely different from Jane Austen, yes. And I think it's easier to read because the the person who's narrating the story make it easier for the reader to get into in the story. I think that's all I can say about this one. So then the next one is City Secrets, City of Lies. So this one is the second book on the series. It's about this cunning girl that she lives in the 1900s, I think it is. And she is going to help a friend uh, to get some money back, and that's using her cunning skills. And they have a romance there that I wasn't very into in it. The cunning situation thing and trying to resolve the mystery, what happened with the money of her friend and all of that, that was interesting for me. But the romance situation between the main character and like her love interesting was not it wasn't like, I don't know, I it was okay. I didn't like it. Was like, okay, let's move on. Overall, I think it's a quick read. I did like the first one too. I think the first one gave me more information or like background what was the life during these 1900s, because always the author at the end give you like a little paragraph telling you what things are like historical awkward to the main story. So she give you some information that what things they were like for real, help her to set up the story with real elements from that time of period. I did like it. It's quick read, nothing like blowing mind, but it was good. So that's basically it. What I read. I think the ones that I can say I like the most is obviously the Lord of the Rings, the Fellowship of the Ring, and the Wuthering Heights. That I don't know how to describe it to give you a synopsis of this one, but it's a really good book. So I think that's it. If you like the video, thumbs up. If you want to know if I post another video, ring the campanita, and thank you for watching. Bye.